Good morning, students. In continuation of previous lecture in rheumatology, today we will discuss gout, which means a drop or a spot, which is red one. This is not a new entity, but it is quite old, and Egyptian described it in 2640 BC. It is also known as podagra. Podagra means food trap, which is due to the involvement of the site or a joint which is in between the foot and big toe, the area which is known as podagra, and Greek described it as a unwalkable disease. Gout is a crystal induced disease, and other crystals they are formed in the bodies. They are calcium pyrophosphate dihydrate crystals, hydroxyapatite means basic calcium phosphate crystals, corticosteroid esters, and calcium oxalate crystals. Whereas gout is due to the accumulation of monosodium urate crystal in the body or in the joints. Gout is a disease which is characterized by a hyperuricemia and deposition of monosodium urate crystal in the body. Whereas gouty arthritis is a joint inflammation caused by or secondary to deposition of the monosodium urate crystal in the synovial fluid or synovial membranes. In the next slide, we will see a picture which is a lump of impertinence. Impertinence means rudeness, and you see a picture which is made by Thomson in London in 1809, and which gives a picture of a man who is sitting on the armchair having a gouty legs and wide open mouth along with stare look, which gives a hint that the gout which occurs in a person's, those who are some sort of that personalities, and hence those persons, those who are obese and having a more indulgence with the food, more and more non-vegetarian foods and other alcohol and other things which develops this disease. Hence, this is also known as a disease of the kings, or vice versa, king of disease. Gout is also known as king of disease or disease of kings, because the person, those who are more luxurious, having indulgence with alcohol and food, and they develop this disease. Gout is mainly due to the either there is means hyperuricemia along with uric acid depositions. So uric acid, either there is overproduction of the uric acid or there is under excretion of the uric acid. So we have in this slide pathophysiology of the uric acid. Uric acid is formed from the purine amino acids, which is converted to hypoxanthine and xanthine with xanthine oxidase enzymes to uric acid, which is purine comes from either from the diet or from the cellular nucleoproteins. More and more, at least 2/3 of the purine comes from the nuclear cell proteins breakdown, and 1/3 from the diet. Similarly, uric acid is excreted 2/3 through the kidneys and 1/3 through the feces. So any discrepancies any defect occur, either overproduction of the uric acid or under excretion of the uric acid, lead to accumulation of the uric acid, hyperuricemia, which lead to crystallization of the uric acid crystal formations and leading to disease. Here we see overproducers. They are the, if we go for a 15 to 20% of the gouty patients, they are overproducers, and we distinguish the overproducers by 24-hour uric acid excretion test, which means if there is more than 100 milligram per day excretion of the uric acid with the regular diet, or more than 600 milligram per day of uric acid in the urine with purine-free diet, we consider them as overproducers. The excretion of the uric acid is completely filtered by the glomerulus, and it is completely reabsorbed by the proximal tubules. Hence, 50% of the absorbed uric acid, which is again secreted back into the descending loop of the tubules, and out of this 50%, 80% of the fluid which is reabsorbed in the ascending loop of the kidney. So 40 net excretion of the uric acid is only 10% daily. The persons, those who are having a under excretors, they are either male or female, which are postmenopausal one, obesity and metabolic syndromes persons, those are having, those who are taking alcohol, ethanols, renal insufficiency, kidney disease, plumbism or lead poisoning, certain drugs, and dehydration, and more fructose ingestion lead to under excretion of the uric acids. Whereas overproducers, they are again either excess of alcohol intake or due to certain high cell turnover states, which are as such skin disease, psoriasis, or some myeloproliferative disorders, excessive purine ingestions, diet which contains more and more of the purine diet, those are red meat, liver, kidneys, and certain fish, seafoods which contains more and more purine, and certain congenital conditions due to deficiency of enzymes, it lead to overproduction of the uric acid. They are the phosphoribopyrophosphate overactivities, or hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase enzymes underactivities, which lead to more and more uric acid productions. Similarly, disease, some sarcoidosis, butyl deficiency, and glycogen storage disease, the person, they are having a overproducers of the uric acids. Drugs, mainly medications, which are more concerned leading to hyperuricemia, they are the diuretics. More, they are the thiazides one, but also loop diuretics also, they can lead to hyperuricemia. Aspirin, as low dose aspirin, which are more prone to have hyperuricemia. Certain immunosuppressive drugs, cyclosporine, tacrolimus, alcohol, ethanols, anti-tubercular drugs, ethambutol or pyrogenamides, certain antiviral HIV drugs, ritonavir, loranavir, and adenosine, and nicotinic acid, certain pancreatic enzymes which lead to hyperuricemias, antibodies Rituximabs, basiliximabs, they can lead to hyperuricemias. GM-CSF stimulators, filgrastins or sildenafils. Certain cytotoxic chemotherapies, they also lead to hyperuricemias. These are the list of drugs which lead to hyperuricemias. But hyperuricemia doesn't mean this is gout. Hyperuricemia means uric acid more than 7 milligram per deciliter in male and 10% of the hyperuremic acid patient, hyperuricemic patients, they develop gout. Whereas all patients, they will not develop gout. At least 80% of the gouty patients, they are having uric acid less than 9 milligrams. But the patient, those who are having a uric acid more than 10 milligram, they are having high risk of developing this gout disease. Mind it, gout is not a only hyperuricemia. It is along with deposition of the uric acid in the joints or in the body fluid. Certain conditions which are associated with the hyperuricemias, they are the lymphoma, Hodgkin disease, myeloproliferative disorders, diabetes, sarcoidosis, all these conditions and psoriasis, they are having hyperuricemia. But few diseases, they are having direct relation with the gout. They are the hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemias, obesity, and ethanol use. They lead to gout. Certain facts regarding gout. As we have assumptions, more purine foods, they lead to gout, but dairy consumption is protective. They are protective regarding gout. Estrogens, protective due to the suppressive effect of URAT1, uridine adenyl cyclase transferase enzymes, which is present in the females. Hence, premenopausal women, they hardly develop gout. And some certain people have a notions that beer is safe, but beer is having much worse than wine for a gout. Mind it, never or hardly people, those who are having prepubertal children or premenopausal women, they hardly develop gout. In gout, we have a certain condition, acute gouty arthritis. Acute gouty arthritis is usually monoarticular. It almost any joint can be affected. Mainly first metatarsophalangeal joints, which occurs in 50% of the patients and also named as podagra. Other joints, they are midfoot, ankle, heel, knee, wrist, finger and elbow in order of frequencies. In gout, joint involvement occurs in one joint, or it may involve or may spread from one joint to another joint, and this is also known as cluster attack. Gout can be a monoarticular or polyarticular. Posy and polyarticular gouty arthritis occurs mainly in the females or those who are taking a diuretic. A typical attack of gout is described by Sydenham. It is an acute and abrupt onset of a pain at midnight and involvement of the first metatarsophalangeal joints of the foot, which is pain is a worst pain, which is severe one, extremely tender. Extreme tender means it doesn't even bear the weight of air, vibration of the air. And the site is swollen and shiny red color, and it is a self-resolution. It resolves within a few days to weeks. It may accompany by fever, having a leukocytosis, pain which appears or the area which involved last may disappear first. The attack may last for hours together, and these are known as petit attack. Another condition in the acute gout is intercritical gout. First attack of the gout, second attack either occurs within a period of month or year. But few cases after first attack, second never occur. Most of the patient, few episodes that occurs within 1 year. If the gout remains untreated, episodes of acute gout arthritis becomes more frequent, which last longer and involves more and more joints, and it becomes polyarticular. Another entity is a chronic tophaceous gout. What do we mean by tophi? Tophi are the deposits of urate crystals in the tissue. The common sites are synovium of the joints, subchondral bones, olecranon versus infrapatellar or Achilles tendons. Frequent attacks of acute gouty arthritis lead to bone destruction, and degenerative arthritis are common in advanced diseases of the gout. In this slide, you will see a tophi. You will see in the pinna or thumb or olecranon bursa or on the palmar surface of the fingers. You have a calcifications. Gout and kidney disease. You may find stones which are uric acid and having calcium depositions. Urate nephropathy, which is not well defined, but it occurs in gout. Uric acid nephropathy, which is acute tubular deposition of the uric acid leading to renal failure. How you diagnose a gout? For a gout, you go for GIN. GIN is a gold standard for diagnosis is observation of the monosodium urate crystals in the synovial fluid. You aspirate fluid and you demonstrate a monosodium urate crystal there. What is this monosodium urate crystals? They are yellow monosodium urate crystals, and they are needle shaped, and GIN means needle shaped, and they are negative birefringent. In this film, you will see a radiographic hallmark of the gout. You will have a overhanging edges seen in joints which are more diagnostic for gout joint involvements. Punched out lesion with sclerotic borders. You will find a white, more dense areas in the borders, more sclerotic, and you will have a joint space which persists for a longer period or till late stages of the disease. Synovial fluid, you aspirate joint and you find a synovial fluid. Appearance of the fluid is clear or maybe cloudy. Cell count may occur 2000 to 50,000, and you demonstrate crystals, which is to the character of gene, means gold standard to demonstrate white, yellow colors or golden colors, and they are having a negative birefringence polarized light. Culture negative one, glucose normal, and other you may have protein, pH, and other things which are not of much help in diagnosis of the gout. In differentials, you have one is gout, another one is a pseudo gout, and another one is pseudo gout. You may have a septic arthritis, single joint involvement with swollen, red, or reactive arthritis, or one have a rheumatoid arthritis. All these conditions, they comes under differentials of the gout. For management, there are three phases of gout treatment. One is to treat acute attack. Another one is to prevent new attack. One is to acute attack treatment, another to prevent the new attack, further attack, and third phase is reduce the uric acid levels. So asymptomatic hyperuricemia never requires treatment. Phase one is termination of the attacks. So you can prevent attack, treat the attack, first attack by one is, this is inflammatory condition, anti-inflammatory drugs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Then with the help of specific drug colchicines and steroids, which are a universal anti-inflammatories, which can be used either intra-articular or systemic, and the drugs interleukin-1 inhibitors, anakinra. We will take one by one. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, these are the treatment of choice in a otherwise healthy patient, means those who are not having a contraindication for NSAIDs, like ulcers and other conditions which lead to bleeding ulcers, or some patient is free of renal insufficiency, kidney disease. The treatment of choice is indomethacins, and any drugs other COX-2 inhibitors, they can be used for, or celecoxib or other anti-inflammatories, diclofenacs, they can be used. Then colchicine. Colchicine is given in 1.2 milligram bolus dose, followed by 0.6 milligram 1 tablets after 1 hour, and then continuation with the 1 tablets twice a day till the attack is subsided. Maintenance dose, either once a day 1 tablet 0.6 milligram or twice a day, or in renal conditions it is half the dose or prolong the period of the dosing schedules. Intra-articular steroids, they are used for a single joint but not used for polyarticular joints. Second, make sure that person is not having infection. Then you can use a intra-articular steroids. Systemic steroids, again, if the person is having indications, if the person is having polyarticular attacks or fever, or attack is long standing, more than 3 to 5 days, the steroids, they are given in a divided doses and tapers over the 7 to 10 days dosing schedules, and simultaneously you will start a prophylactic agent as a colchicine along with this. The drug interleukin-1 anakinra inhibitors, it can be used, which is indicated and effective in acute attack, best in a patient who cannot take steroids or having a contraindication to have steroids, those who develops some reaction to colchicine like diarrhea and other. This anakinra is a quite costly drug. Limitation is only that this is cost effective. Side by side, you can have other measures to terminate the attacks. Rest to the part, cold therapy. You apply ice or ice water immersions, foot into the ice water. Then elevation of the part, keep the part elevated. Analgesic along with the drugs or some other hypouricemic agents. If they are already taking it, continue with the hypouricemic agents. Phase 2, to prevent the preventive therapy. Colchicine and or NSAIDs, they can be used, but always use when beginning a hypouricemic drugs. If you start a hypouricemic drugs, you should use either colchicine or NSAIDs to start with. Continue several weeks to years to keep a level of uric acid down. Always use before surgery or previously patient is having gout, then you use a hypouricemic agent. The hypouricemic agents, they are not needed to every persons. Very elderly, non-compliance or infrequent attacks of the gout, they doesn't require hypouricemic therapies. Or hypouricemic drugs, they may precipitate an acute attack. What are the hypouricemic agents used in lowering the uric acids? One is allopurinols, another is febuxostat, probenecid, sulfenperazone, benzobramarones, pegloticase, losartans, high-dose salicylates, and vitamin C. Goal of hypouricemic treatment: the aim of to keep a serum uric acid under 6, less than 6 milligram per deciliter, preferably around 5. But always consider back of the mind the side effect of allopurinol, which are quite serious ones: granulomatous hepatitis, vasculitis, systemic vasculitis, and time. And it can be used but cautiously with the renal insufficiency patients. Do not start hyporhesemic agent during acute attack. Use provenous acids, provenic acids first, then you use, but don't use a provenic acid in a patient those who are having overproduces. You have to use a to inhibit the formation of the, not increase the excretion, because it will excrete the uric acid in the urine. This is a drug which lead to excretion of the uric acid. If person is overproducer, you have to prevent the formation of the uric acid by drugs which are xanthine oxidase inhibitors. The drug is febuxostat. This is a new drug. It is non-xanthine inhibitors or xanthine derivatives inhibitors. It is better tolerated than allopurinol. It lowers the uric acid levels more than the allopurinols, and it may dissolve the tophi. Adverse reactions of the, it is given in 40 milligram dosing schedule or to 80 milligram dosing schedule. It lead to side effects which are nausea, gout may flare up, lead to transaminitis, increased level of liver enzymes, elevated CRP and elevated CK enzymes. Febuxostat is best used in patients those who are having allopurinol failures, those who are having renal insufficiency and having a tophaceous gout. Or it can be used in a resistant hyperuricemias, but the dose is slightly higher, which may be 40 milligram twice a day. The other drugs which can be used, this is a recombinant uricase, which are RAS uricase or pegloticase, which is used in a refractory cases of the gout, which dissolve the tophi, and persons those who are having tumor lysis syndrome, the RAS uricase or pegloticase, they can be used. Other is a ARB, angiotensin receptor blockers, losartan, which is a uricosuric drugs which can be used, and it decreases 0.3 to 1.3 milligram per deciliter of uric acid with the dose of 25 to 200 milligram per day. It has a uricosuric mechanism. Another drug is fenofibrate, which can be used along with atorvastatin, and don't forget vitamin C in a 500 milligram twice a day. Treatment of the stones in gouty patients: allopurinol, calcium and uric acid stones, you use allopurinol, and potassium citrate, calcium and uric acid stones, and direct inhibitors of nucleations. You can have a potassium citrate for stones, uric acid stones, to alkalize the urine. Gout and pseudo gout. As we know, gout is a deposition of the uric acid or uric acid crystals, that is monosodium urate crystals, monohydrate crystals, whereas pseudo gout is due to the formation of or deposition of the calcium pyrophosphate dehydrogenase crystals. Mainly first base of the toe which is involved in case of gout, whereas pseudo gout, large joints, knee, wrist, ankle, they can be involved. This is more common with the females, pseudo gout, and they are having a crystals which are needle shaped in gout, whereas rhomboid shape in pseudogout. And they are weakly positive birefringence in a polarized light, whereas negative birefringence in case of pseudogout. Treatment of acute pseudogout as aspiration, rest, steroids, NSAID system steroids, colchicine and anakinra, they can be used for pseudogout also. Another terminology is pseudogout, which is an hydroxyapatite crystals deposition. They are mainly not articular, but they are periarticular. They are the periarthritis leading to periarticular structure involvement. And again, the things are same. So, take home message: always give prophylaxis in a gout patient, colchicine or NSAIDs, before reducing the uric acid level. Longer course of prednisolone in divided doses for a severe gout. Consider interleukin-1 inhibitors anakinra for acute treatment in some cases. Febuxostat is more effective than allopurinol in renal insufficiency in a renal or gouty patients. Thanks. In lines by Franklin's, be temperate in wine. Temperate means a irresistible or uncontrollable. So be temperate. One should be moderate in eating or in involvement of the girls and sloth, or if you are not aware of this, the gout will seize you and plague you. Thank you. हो गया होगा जिधर है